myself, they have further disrupted command cohesion and introduced unnecessary tensions within the DPCI KZN ranks. They have further caused an equal measure of harm to my son, as the allegations have caused him a significant loss of income. Currently, Commissioners, he is running a scholarship business. And then you sign contract with people, then they come and extend the contract. Some, they just come in a year. He lost a lot of kids. So now there is a problem of him paying his buses, the loans, the high purchase thing. So, Commissioners.
You said scholarship, and I hear you talk about buses.
It's Kumbi.
Did you mean scholar transport?
Yes, he's there now currently. Okay. Because what they do, if this is not working, bringing any income, they venture into a lot of things. So, Commissioners, I think we need to be protected before I conclude. I have been summoned at the head office by my current supervisor. I was provided with a notice of alleged misconduct because of the testimony by witness X here and witness C. And further to that, I was provided with a notice of temporary transfer. And this thing happened Friday, this past Friday, Commissioners. And that is a problem. We can't be intimidated when we are supposed to come and give evidence here, because this is it is a modus operandi, because it disoriented your mind in order to be testifying here and be to your sound and sober senses. You'll realize that although some of the witnesses never testified here, they testified at the ad hoc committee. They were visited just a week or few days before they were testifying. It is my humble prayers to you, Commissioners. We are your witnesses. Although there are allegations against us, we need to be protected here. And then I am of the view that why they never left this thing for me to testify, they can even wait for you to make a determination and deal with me. Or come and give me these things after I have testified. It is something that raised serious concerns to me, Commissioners. Now I must respond this Friday. Why must I not be transferred? And in my considered view, I don't know why must I be transferred. But I have to go and I have to write a representation. So I believe that one is being treated unfair. So I wanted to bring this to your good self, Commissioners. And it is not good. It is seriously not good. It's affecting one's health, or seriously so. And it is also affecting the relations in my own home.
And that, of course, Major General Lisecha Senona testifying before the Madlanga Commission on day 47 of this commission. And this is, of course, where you'll be returned later on SAFM. But as it stands right now, it's just about 2 minutes before the top of the hour. And as you know, the commission usually takes a break for lunch at 1. And SAFM keeping you abreast of developments, and also the SABC app or SABC News website, where you can have a view of the pop-up channels and uninterrupted listening. Well, that's where we're going to leave it. Thanks to the production team. We'll do it again tomorrow on Nelambana, standing by with your news at 1.
Mntanami, uthando has no return. Stay. Ubekezele. It's what makes you a woman. A home is built with patience and quiet. Thula. Don't answer back. Just keep the peace. That's what we were taught.
When you see it, you see the line between love and nokubegezela. Abusive behavior should never be excused. Search Bright Sky SA and bring the signs of GBV into focus. Connecting for good. Vodacom.
Have you discovered the TV license WhatsApp yet? We see you, binging reruns, living for the drama, loving the SABC Plus sports replays. Now, paying your TV license fits the vibe. Simply say hi on WhatsApp to 077 6069 060. Get your balance, make a payment, or set up a debit order all in one chat. No queues, no please hold, just convenience that feels like it should have been here all along. Because every screen in South Africa is a stage and yours is lit. So why wait? Send hi on WhatsApp to 077 6069 060 and get your TV license sorted today. Hashtag your screen, your story.
Extra your new semester vibes with free gifts from Vodacom this new year. Like the Vivo X200 Pro from just 1,549 per month over 36 months on a 6 gig Red Core plan. Comes with free Vivo Watch GT worth 2,999. Plus, get 5 gigs YouTube data and 2 months free YouTube Premium. Available in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Further together, Vodacom.
Bridget Masinga.
The top stories: KZN Hawks gives testimony at the Madlanga Commission, and March on March reacts to a charge laid against it and other organizations. For SAFM News, I'm Ondilambana, and a very good day. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry's advocate Sandile Khumalo has asked KwaZulu-Natal Hawks head Lisicha Senona why he shared the letter to disband of the political killing stars team with alleged criminal kingpin Vusumuzi Ket Matlala. Senona is in the hot seat at the Commission's hearings in Pretoria. He has admitted sharing the letter with Matlala, but has defended his decision, saying the contents were already in the public domain.
For what good reason would you share with Mr. Matlala the disbandment of a political killing stars team? What does Mr. Matlala have to do with the political killing stars team based in KwaZulu-Natal when he's a security operator in Pretoria or Johannesburg? Why would he be interested in a political killing stars team and its disbandment?
Look, I already indicated, Commissioner, that it was a garnering thing in the public domain.
Lobby group March on March movement says it's disappointing that the state has chosen to lay a charge rather than deal with issues at hand. The state has laid a charge of public violence against the lobby group as well as Operation Dudula and the Umkhonto weSizwe Party. The charge is in connection with scuffles which broke out during a protest outside the Addington Primary School in Durban last Friday. Xolani Zuma is the husband and lawyer for lobby group's leader Jacinta Ngobese Zuma.
It is quite concerning, though, that post-1994 you still have these gimmicks that are implemented at least by the state against innocent citizens. When we are standing here, there is about 27 buildings that have been hijacked by, God knows who, and the vast majority of those people are illegal immigrants. The question is, what kind of a state is this? But those are issues we are going to deal with in court.
Gauteng Agriculture MEC Vuyiswara Mogopa says 16 million rand has been allocated to tackle the foot and mouth disease outbreak in the province. The outbreak, which started in April last year, has affected more than 260,000 animals. The province has called for a national and interprovincial strategy on how to deal with the outbreak. Mogopa briefed the media in Johannesburg.
About 16 million rand from the Comprehensive Agricultural Support Program has been allocated to be used for vaccine tests, cleaning supplies, and additional mobile units to help stop the spread of the disease. These are particularly helpful in areas where there's communal grazing, as well as in township areas where mobile units are needed.
KwaZulu-Natal municipalities that the Auditor General has flagged for poor financial management are under the spotlight. This is a parliamentary delegation conduct and oversight visit. Members of the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Portfolio Committee and the Standing Committee on Public Accounts are in the province. They will meet with Premier Tami Nduli, Cooperative Governance MEC Thulasizwe Buthelezi and Finance MEC Francois Rogers in Pietermaritzburg. The parliamentary delegation is also set to meet with officials from municipalities which are under distress, including the eThekwini Metro. French lawmakers have passed a bill that would ban those aged under 15 from accessing social media. President Emmanuel Macron has called for the result a major step towards protecting French children. Last month, Australia became the first country to ban social media access for anyone below the age of 16. Arthur Delaporte is a member of the Socialist Group in the French National Assembly.
On ne peut pas mettre la jeunesse sous cloche. Ça n'est pas possible.
You can't keep young people in a bubble. It's not possible. It isn't possible in Australia, and it won't be possible in France. That's why we really need to think about alternatives and why this text needs to leave the issue open.
Recapping the top story, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry's advocate Sandile Khumalo has asked KwaZulu-Natal Hawks head Lesija Sinona why he shared the letter to disband of the political killings tasked him with alleged criminal kingpin Vusimuzi Ket Madlala. I'm on Delambana for SFM News. Headlines at 1:30.
Bridget Masinga on SAFM. For 90 years, one voice has informed, challenged, and connected a nation. SAFM, South Africa's national English public radio station. Established in 1936 as the SABC's very first service, the A program evolving through the English service, Radio South Africa, to SAFM in 1995, shaping thought and strengthening democracy. From a full-spectrum station to a trusted home of news and talk, SAFM continues to lead the conversations 90 years strong. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
Failures in the scholar transport program, particularly in the Northwest.
The major concerns that have been raised with us is unroadworthy vehicles. Overcrowding is a common theme. The lack of regulation, because it appears that whilst the state-sponsored transport is fairly regulated, the private scholar transport, it seems like it's free for all.
In my community, you've got your formal houses, opposite it's the shacks. Those kids, they have to cross every day to come to school to my side. You have pedestrian crossings, but private motorists and taxi drivers won't stop for them. Last year, there's been 3 or 2 were not.
Shirley Mlombo now, who's the human rights lawyer and provincial manager at Northwest.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
Good January, boss. Good January. All over social media, it's conversations around finances at the moment. I said to you yesterday that January is throwing hands in my life. I don't know about you, but it's literally just slapping me upside the head in every which angle it can. But I'm saying this because I was just looking at some of the social media chatter as we were getting ready to go on the show, and people are comparing their gym membership prices, and I didn't realize that gym memberships are so expensive because, I'm with that insurer that offsets certain things if you are part of that program of theirs. So, I just thought we were all paying reasonable price for such things. But really, a healthy lifestyle is very expensive indeed. It is the Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga, on this fine afternoon. I hope you're having a great day thus far as we take a break from the Madlanga Commission. They've just broken for lunch. They'll be back in about an hour or so we're going to optimize on that time as we always have. You've become accustomed now to how we've rejigged our show to accommodate that live crossing to the Madlanga Commission. So we're going to catch up with Usbahle Mota, SABC news reporter, and then after Usbahle, I'm going to be joined in studio by our resident medical expert, the founder of Biomedical Emporium, Dr. Judy Pretorius is going to be joining us, and we're talking all things skin deep. Let's catch up with Usbahle Mota. Usbahle, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good afternoon to you, Bridget, and to the listeners, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for the time. It always seems like we are doing exactly that, chasing time every time we are chatting. But let's recap on the Madlanga Commission and where are we at with this phase 2?
So essentially, proceedings returned yesterday after, a low break, if I can call it. We went on a break last December on the 5th and we returned yesterday. But ultimately what is happening is that now, today we have General Lisetja Senona, who's the KZN Hawks head, and he was presenting his version of events. He's been implicated for having very close relations with Vusmuzi Madlanga and leaking information that could benefit this criminal syndicate network, which is the Big Five. He's also, his son has also been linked to have a very, very close relationship with Vusmuzi Madlanga. So as things stand, he has been defending his stance to the commission, saying that he does know Vusmuzi Madlanga, but he's never, given him any information that is to his benefit. And what the commission has actually found is the fact that General Senona, when the PKTT was disbanded, actually forwarded the PKTT disbandment letter to Vusmuzi Madlanga, and this sort of solidifies some of these allegations that have been made that say that he does share sensitive police information with Vusmuzi Madlanga, but he has obviously defended that stance, saying this was in the public domain. It was on social media. So he and Vusmuzi Madlanga actually used to enjoy, if I could say that, a brotherly relationship, so they'd exchange any current affairs or anything that they saw fit.
It's interesting because on the one hand, he and I caught glimpses of him and his testimony this morning. On the one hand, he seems to be at pains to sort of describe the relationship as, in African culture, when you share the same surname as somebody, you make reference to them as brother, as booty, but it's really not that significant. But then on the other hand, also emphasizing just how significant the relationship is, but all things were within boundaries. It's almost though he's getting himself caught up in this weird little spider web.
No, definitely, because I think he was actually preempting this question, that was posed, asking if, the lady whose cousins, I think, with his wife, dated Vusmuzi Madlanga, dated. So I think he was preempting it. But from his evidence, we can see that he definitely was very close with Vusmuzi Madlanga. They met around 2018, 2019. At his, a traditional wedding, and he even says that he took such a liking towards Vusmuzi Madlanga because he was a very humble guy, and his energy, actually sort of drew him to Vusmuzi Madlanga, and they exchanged phone numbers, and since then they have been exchanging whatever it is that they didn't fit to, whether it's current affairs or anything, that the other party may be finding interesting. So there is like a basis to say that these two men actually enjoyed quite a very close relationship. It was also General Senona who claims that he accompanied Vusmuzi Madlanga to meet with General Mkhwanazi at the Pearls in Umhlanga, and this meeting basically was in relation to his business, and in this meeting he alleges that General Mkhwanazi actually asked Vusmuzi Madlanga for any information on General Shadrack Sibiya in exchange for him to hold investigations against Vusmuzi Madlanga in his attempted murder case against Tebogo Tobejane. So, if he's going through that length and to that extent, then you can actually tell that they had a very, very close relationship. He says they were brothers, and this meeting, even with General Mkhwanazi, proves this.
Is there more sort of, and we had hard pains to try and keep track of all the testimony and the individuals who appeared before the commission at phase one, but it's such a laundry list of people that it becomes difficult. We almost need a dossier. But apart from this meeting, for instance, where he accompanied him to the Pearls and the letter that he forwarded around the disbandment of the PKTT, were there other allegations that were perhaps leveled against General Senona that he must answer to or defend in this session?
I think initially when Witness X appeared before the Madlanga Commission, Witness X was a witness who appeared in partial camera through an intermediary, so we could not see his face. We could just hear, I think, one of the advocates' voices when he was relaying this information about General Senona. But in Witness X's testimony, he claims that, General Sinona also gave 3 ID numbers to Vusumuzi Cat Madlanga allegedly belonging to President Cyril Ramaphosa to run some check or something of that sort. So I think that is something that a lot of people who have picked it up are actually waiting for him to answer on as to why these 3 ID numbers and where the president enters into these entire, allegations. And as you know, a lot of the public or social media sentiment has been that they would like President Cyril Ramaphosa to also present himself before the commission, because also Police Minister Senzo Mchunu says he did tell Ramaphosa about the disbandment of the PKTT, to which President Ramaphosa noted. So I think that for me is something that I've definitely been waiting for, and we have confirmation now, even from the chairperson, to say General Sinona, who only wanted to testify today, will be back again tomorrow, so that the commission could get to the bottom of these allegations that have been leveled against him.
Very interesting indeed. And of course, him distancing himself from any knowledge or associations of this big five that seems to be the central cartel to this commission.
No, definitely. I mean, he even jokingly says the only big five he knows is that of the country, which just includes, the animals that we all know of, the elephant, the lion, buffalo, rhino, as well as the leopard. But I mean, if the evidence that has been presented to the Madlanga Commission is anything to go by, you can see that he did, or rather Madlanga did enjoy some benefit of being associated with General Sinona. Even General Sinona's son did somehow benefit from the relationship between the pair. So it will be interesting to see what the cross-examination presents and how he's able to answer any of those questions.
Because that relationship with his son and Vusumuzi Cat Madlanga as well, he sort of introduced that this morning. But even that, saying that they know each other, and he invited the commission, in fact, to do an independent investigation into the probability of them ever having done business together, because he's emphatic that they've never done any business together. They know each other. They've met to explore doing business together, but they've never actually concluded doing business together.
No, definitely. I mean, he even goes as far as defending his son's decision to do business with Vusumuzi Cat Madlanga if he chooses to get into business with him. So you can tell that there was some form of relationship there. I mean, he even goes as far as citing the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. So you can tell that, I mean, he, to some extent, there was some benefit, either from either of the pair, either his son or himself. So I think, he's presented his side of the version of events rather. And now, the cross-examination by the commissioners as well as evidence leader, Advocate Hasim, will actually see if he cracks under this pressure and even contradicts his initial statements.
Yeah. Sibahle Mota, we appreciate the time as per usual. That's SABC News reporter Sibahle Mota giving us the rundown, of course, of the Madlanga Commission. Let's take a quick pause, but our WhatsApp line is open on 061-410-4107 if you want to share perhaps your views, your thoughts now that the Commission has come back and you've had some time in December to sort of step away from it. Maybe you're even looking at it from a different perspective and different eyes now. We just never know. 061-410-4107 is where you can send your WhatsApp voice note. So you can give us a shout on 086-000-2032.
Every day, Rand Water's underground pipelines run through servitudes across the country, carrying millions of litres of water to our communities. But when people build too close, it's called encroachment, and it's very dangerous. If a pipeline bursts, it can flood homes, destroy property, and in many cases, people lose their lives. That's why Rand Water marks its servitudes with blue and white beacons, a clear warning to stay clear and safe. When we protect Rand Water's servitudes, we protect our communities too. Rand Water, finding new ways.
Outsurance is saving 27-year-old Liam big bucks on his car insurance.
Saving so much every month, around 640 Rand.
That's an awesome 640 Rand saving on Liam's 2024 Ranger. And after 3 claim-free years, he gets an out bonus.
Definitely getting a lot out.
Get a quote now and see how much money Outsurance could save you. SMS out to 30754. That's out to 30754. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
So January is for intention setting, less noise, more meaning. So say yes. Yes to beauty, yes to culture, yes to slowing down, and yes to the Montreal Jazz Festival in Franschhoek, where Montreal meets Africa with curated global and African music in an intimate setting. Don't miss it. Get your tickets at the end of January and make this your yes moment. Montreal Jazz Festival Franschhoek. Say yes. Visit www.mjfsa.com for details.
SAFM has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that is not harmful, does not amount to hate speech, or contain violence or explicit sex. If you think we are not living up to that code, then you can inform the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Direct any complaints in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. PO Box 142365. Craig Hall 2024. Fax to 011-326-3198 or an email to bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more information, please visit www.bccsa.co.za. Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
Siwela Langeni, co-founder of the book Circle Capital and author of Making Friends with Feelings.
Books are coming out like literally every week. Ken Macmillan announced that Rachel Kolisi is releasing a book in March. So today's agenda is a book that I'm so excited about, a book that has sold so well in bookshops nationwide. I write what I like by Steve Biko, the famous book. It's the most stolen book at Book Circle Capital.
Really?
Yeah, and there's an isiXhosa version, Dibala Intando Yam.
Yes.
Translated by Professor P.T. Mtuze, and it's been done in conjunction with the Biko Foundation and the family, which features writing from the famous activist and black consciousness leader Steve Biko before his untimely death in detention at the age of 30.
Bridget Masinga, weekdays on The Full Circle. Bridget Masinga is streaming live now on Facebook, YouTube, and X at SAFM Radio.
So we are listening back to the promos of the show, saying to everyone in studio now, as we're playing back our conversation with Siwela from last week, she was telling us about the new edition of the book, I Write What I Like. And the music that we have in the background, you could swear it's like a crime suspense thriller, something. It's like, hi, your birthday girl.
Hello, how are you?
Happy birthday, Dr. Judy.
I am older, but I don't look the part.
No, you don't. No, you absolutely do not look the part. Happy birthday. Many blessings to you. Ukule ukokobe.
Oh,
and I hope you have a great day. I hope you're having a great day. How's the day?
No, it's absolutely great. I'm in a very fortunate and blessed space, in my life. So, just embracing every moment.
I love it. That's the best way and the best attitude to enter any birthday, indeed. It can only be onwards and upwards from here. Like, we like that for you.
And is there words like young words?
Young words.
Young words also.
Well, listen, you are the fountain of youth. So you create the fountain of youth. You don't need us to speak it into your existence because you created it in your laboratory for yourself, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So speaking of youth, today you wanted us to talk about concerning beauty trends and beauty trends and things that you've observed around young people and skincare. Okay, where do we begin this conversation? Because I think a lot of young people, probably like what? I don't know. You've got daughters. I think probably the conversation and the intrigue starts in that 13, 14, 12, maybe even 11 these days.
Yes. So the tweens and teens. And the whole topic is on, they are so glued to their cell phones and social media platforms, platforms that I don't even know about, quite frankly, and where they actually get advice from, young adults or even other teenagers that basically guides them to start using advanced anti-aging products. Even though they don't need it yet.
Yes.
So it's typical, this young influencer individual telling them, listen, if you would like this fountain of youth that we are talking about and retain it and keep it and never enter the process of aging, then you need to get your hands on advanced anti-aging products with high concentration of very powerful active ingredients like retinol, vitamin C, glycolic acid, lactic acid, azelaic acid, you name it, all the acids you can think of, just to retain the youth of your skin. But the question is it really necessary when you're a tween or a teen?
Yeah, and I mean, at that age, I think all adults, we aspire to have that flawless, glowing head-to-toe skin. I always say to people I go, my dream skin is the skin of a 10-year-old. Have you ever seen that skin? It's succulent, it's moist, it's even-toned, it's got it's the most beautiful skin. So where are we getting it wrong in this messaging? What's happening socially?
Well, let me tell you, how would you feel as a mom when you actually purchase some skincare products, which most likely cost you about 3,000-4,000 rand for a proper skincare routine, and then one day you walk in your bathroom cabinet or your bathroom and you want to use some of these products and you see it's funny because your teenager took it all. And also they approach you and they tell you, listen, mom, dad, please, I need some proper skincare products. And here's the bill, here's the invoice. And you see, whoa, is this really appropriate for your skin? And yes, unfortunately it's not. And it basically comes down to the fact that you are still growing.
Yeah.
Your skin is still growing. There are certain things that's not even developed yet properly. We don't need to expose our skin to ingredients or high concentration components and elements and molecules and compounds if it's not there yet, if it doesn't need it yet. And maybe I'm generalizing a little bit, but teenagers don't like the word conservative so much. They don't like the phrase slow and steady wins the race. They want it now. They want everything now. The advanced components that's really going to make a big, huge impact. But there are certain terms that I refer to, like acne mechanica. Acne mechanica means something mechanical that you bring in, you expose your skin to macerations and so forth that can actually cause acne. And then there's a second term, acne cosmetica. When you expose your skin to certain cosmetic products, then that will cause a certain acne to take place. And this is one of those examples. If you use products, acne cosmetica, use products at the wrong time with the wrong ingredients, that can be the reason why you get acne in the first place.
Wow. It's so interesting because we don't really think about it, right? I mean, I certainly I don't have a grown kid as yet to even think about it, but you don't think about it from that perspective of the harm that could come from these products, because sometimes, and I don't know, it's probably in part a social thing, in part a marketing thing. As you say, kids are bombarded, their favorite influencers are using this product and that product, they're into K-pop and K-beauty, and oh my goodness, I want this glass porcelain skin. So like all this messaging is saying to them at that age where they're starting to have an intrigue in things that are beauty, starting to be self-conscious, starting to, come into their own. Like there's the sense of hurry, because you need to look this way.
There's a term for it, marketing psychology. And it's really harmful for children, and it's also a problem when a brand or a company picks up, listen, why don't we target We don't target the parents because it's not going to bring a great income. We focus on the kids. And the moment we focus on the children and we play on that marketing psychology component and we make them feel you actually have a problem, but wait, we have a solution. And you make them feel that basically the life cannot continue without it, then you've hit the sweet spot in terms of the marketing psychology. And the exposure to the wrong things is, for me, unethical.
Absolutely. We're going to take the headline news and we're going to come back and continue our conversation with Dr. Judy, because I want to know more about this acne cosmetica and acne mechanica. We're always learning new terms here, I tell you. It's 1:30 on the Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga.
Thank you, Bridget. On the news headlines, the Madlanga Commission has heard how KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi allegedly offered to hold investigations into Vusumuzi Ket Matlala's attempted murder case. The Western Cape Department of Health and Wellness says a fire that affected a small section of Paarl Provincial Hospital in the Boland earlier today has been contained, and researchers in Britain say that menopause can cause a loss of grey matter in women's brains, affecting memory and emotions. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
Bridget Masinga, weekdays on the Full Circle.
We are in conversation with Dr. Judy Pretorius. It is a Tuesday, so we're talking all things skin deep, and we're looking at a concerning trend of young people who are now actually copying their adult routines and getting into these high concentration beauty products. And if you heard, if you were with us at the beginning of the conversation, absolutely not necessary. You know, and I think our last point before we get back to the technicalities, the beauty standards that we are setting are becoming very problematic, because also we are enforcing them in unconscious ways. And I'm all about healthy beauty and all the rest of it, but there's a thin line between us chasing healthy beauty and good health beauty practices and now chasing this picture of perfection, or creating this picture of perfection that's unattainable even for us adults with full functioning cognitive brains, and then a 13-year-old who's just trying to figure out life and copying mom, because actually kids, they see and they feed off what mom and aunt and everyone else is doing, and then they become little copycats.
Absolutely. You know, and I think also when it comes to teenagers, they're in a very strange time in their lives. They're not children anymore, but they're also not adults, so there's somewhere in between. So they are actually more prone to grab to things to just make them feel like I'm wanted, I'm needed, and what can I do to get my footprint in life, you know, and amongst the peers as well. So it's extremely dangerous, and some of the problems also when it comes to this harsh skincare routines defeats the purpose completely, in the sense of when a young teenager or tween starts using some of these products, then it actually increases their sensitivity. So the skin sensitivity just amplifies completely. They struggle with things like rosacea at a very young age. The skin barrier becomes so much more compromised. They struggle with things like atopic dermatitis or even eczema. And then, like I've indicated before, they disrupt some of the sebaceous glands, and the sebaceous glands produce sebum. And if you cannot control your sebum production, then it can lead to acne. And I know we expect and we anticipate that teenagers may struggle with acne, but what if it's this acne cosmetica that I refer to? There's certain harsh ingredients at high concentrations that actually overstimulates those glands, and you struggle with acne because of cosmetic products.
Shoo. Now, okay, then we have a catch-22, right? Because we also understand skin is changing at that time because of hormones and everything else that's happening, and all of our respective skin changes differently. How do we then start dealing with the natural problems that come because of just hormones and growth?
Okay. I always like to tell people there's 3 things that we should always take into consideration when we talk about skin. I have mentioned this before. So the first thing is we need to nourish our skin. So we have to find ingredients to nourish. The second element that we have to focus on is protection. So we need to protect our skin. And the third element is repair. And this is where, sorry, Bridget, you and me, we fall in that category. We need some repair.
Yeah.
Because we're in the anti-aging arena.
Yes.
Right?
Old.
Old, especially today. So we focus on ingredients that repair. So if a teenager who's still young, the contours and the elasticity and everything is really still intact, the wrinkles are not there yet. It's just like fine, minute lines. Everything is still intact. Why do we then worry about ingredients that repair? And those repair ingredients are typically the anti-aging ingredients, the retinols, the high concentration hyaluronic acids, the vitamin C's, the tranexamic acids. It's a long list of acids that we don't need yet in our teenage years. Our focus should be, as a tween and a teen, to only focus on the nourishment and the protection. So the protection would be to occlude the skin, keep it moist and hydrated, and the nourishment, maybe a little bit of antioxidants like vitamin E and peptides and a little bit of ceramide, but no harsh stuff.
Okay, so nourishment for the kids and protection. And don't forget the sunblock. Very important. Without us even talking brands, right? Because there's a lot of brands out there that are marketed at skincare for teens. And as you say, it's also a two-part to the business. They probably are nourishing and protecting, but also getting them in young so that they can grow with them forever. Amen. So moms and dads, because the options are so plenty on the shelves. What should they be looking out for the most, especially if we're talking around that whole protecting of the skin?
What they should be looking out for is definitely an ingredient called salicylic acid.
Okay.
Now, I know everybody's going to say, Dr. Judy, you said acids is a problem. This is a good acid, especially for teenagers, at a very conservative concentration, about 2%. Now, you usually find salicylic acid in a cleanser. And why do we like salicylic acid so much? Purely because it's anti-inflammatory, so it calms the skin down. It also has a great effect in the sense that it's oil soluble. So if we start to produce excessive amounts of oiliness on the skin, it will help us to solubilize that oiliness. Another component is some of the dead skin cells that we develop on our skin, and this is typically how acne forms, helps to clog our pores, along with the sebaceous glands that produce the sebum production. And then we get two types of acne. Whitehead acne, that basically skin grows over it. So it's a whitehead acne, or a blackhead acne, where the pus or the sebum is exposed to oxygen and then it goes black, so it gets oxidized. So this salicylic acid will help us to get rid of that completely. Then there are other ingredients like zinc, for instance. Zinc is also one of those ingredients that calms the skin down. It's used in many diaper creams and nappy creams and so forth, so it has a calming effect and it has a very gentle antimicrobial effect. Other ingredients, again, like low concentrations of tea tree oil, is a botanical type of extract, but it calms the skin, it's antimicrobial, and it also facilitates gentle healing to take place. Some of the other beautiful ingredients that I'd also advise is vitamin B3, called niacinamide, and something to reduce the redness of the skin, azelaic acid. And azelaic acid, also at low concentrations, can be very safe, because even pregnant ladies can use azelaic acid if they struggle with breakouts or redness or eczema and these type of things during pregnancy.
We have a question here for you, but let's take this break that's watching over us, and then we'll come back and we'll have our last 5 minutes with Dr. Judy. So if there's something that you want to ask her, particularly maybe if you have a child that's got problematic skin, you have a teenager, a tween, and they're getting into that, because it is also a self-esteem thing for kids. You know, they're going into high school now and they want to fit in. They don't want to be dealing with other things. So Dr. Judy might be able to give you some advice as to maybe what routine, or you should go see someone like her to help you if that's within your budget, to help you and help your kid out, help them look their best. It's approaching 20 to 2 o'clock. A quick pause and then we come back on the other side.
There are routines we all love. Morning and night skincare routines, exercise routines, even new routines like meal prep, journaling, and chemo. That last one hit differently, didn't it? The truth is, over 99% of cervical cancer cases are linked to the human papillomavirus. So if you're a woman between 15 and 44, act now. Ask your healthcare provider about the HPV vaccine. This message was brought to you by MSD.
The leader of the country trusts their top-of-the-range plan will silence 2016 champions. However, Masandawana say they will delight Cabo Yellow fans. This is the CAF Champions League. Do not miss out on Al Hilal Sports Club versus Mamelodi Sundowns on Friday, 30 January at 8:30 p.m. live on SABC Plus and SABC2. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
Wherever you are in the world, SAFM 104 to 107 is accessible. We're also streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube at SAFM Radio. We acknowledge and appreciate everyone tuning in and watching our streams. Stay with SAFM 104 to 107 as we bring you Commission Live, breaking stories, and thought-provoking lectures. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us.
Building the future of human settlements smarter and stronger. Join the human settlements team, government and industry leaders, innovators and visionaries at the Innovative Building Technology Summit, where cutting-edge solutions drive sustainable, inclusive and resilient human settlements. From smart materials to advanced construction methods, this is where tomorrow's built environment takes shape. It's happening from the 3rd until the 4th of February this year at the Nasrec Expo Center here in Johannesburg. And for more information, you can send an email to ibt.summit@dhs.gov.za or visit www.dhs.gov.za or www.dhs.ibtsummit.co.za.
You are listening to The Full Circle.
We joined in studio by biomedical scientist and product development specialist. Her products are on the shelf, by the way, Biomedical Emporium. Dr. Judy Pretorius joins us, and we're talking this week. We're focusing on kids, so that skin that your kids are probably dealing with as a teenager, and they really don't want to be dealing with, because it's a lot. It really is a lot on the self-esteem of a child. Your face is the first thing people see. It's the thing that people are staring at when they're talking to you, and kids get self-conscious about all these impurities and imperfections that are happening, and even if it's happening to 9 out of 10 of them, it always seems like you're the only one that's dealing with it.
Yeah, we should protect kids from this. Even certain social media videos that you don't want your child to see, block it. It's not necessary. It's not the time for it. What I also want to tell you, there's even things that we call baby facials, where a tween or a teenager goes for advanced aesthetic anti-aging treatments, in a professional environment. Harsh chemical peels, even botulinum toxin injections. These are not the space for young children. It's not supposed to be like that. There would be a time later in life when you really feel, okay, now I need it for vanity purposes. But young children just needs to go through that process where the collagen in the middle layer of the skin develops fully. the elasticity of the skin develops fully, the overall contours just falls into place. But while you still grow, and some teenagers can actually grow till the age of 18. Don't expose your things that your skin is not ready for yet.
How big of a conversation, and I'm talking about the boys here now, how big of a conversation is hygiene in this? Because, moms and dads will always tell you, especially if they have teenage boys. I'm looking at my cameraman and he's in agreement because clearly he was one of these teenage boys. When they have teenage boys, there's a time and a stage where teenage boys start rebelling against good hygiene practices. And then you can kind of smell it around the house because suddenly they've got body odor. And it seems to be quite a struggle. But how important is hygiene? Just good basic hygiene in all of this conversation.
Well, you remember earlier on we said acne mechanica. Now, acne mechanica is where that actually comes in. Typically, just as our liver and our kidneys are detoxifying organs, the human skin is also a detoxifying organ. So when you exercise or you just perspire, you sweat, and you keep your sweat on your skin for long periods of time. And if I say long periods of time, anything longer than an hour, then it clogs pores. And then also you change your skin's pH, because sometimes, the sweat is not exactly an acidic pH level, and human skin likes an acidic environment. So if it's more a neutral or alkaline environment, it irritates the skin, and then boom, we activate the sebaceous glands again. And this is when people start to struggle with body acne. So not acne on the face, but acne on the chest, acne on the back, acne over all other spaces over the body, and acne mechanica again. So yes, hygiene definitely plays a role, and we'd like to encourage them to at least have one step in their skincare routine, and basically that's washing yourself. But yes, you can have, both ends of the pole here by saying we have to have some form of a routine, not too harsh, not too conservative, but definitely have some skincare routine where we fall into the categories of both nourishment and protection. And once we tick those boxes, we're in a good space.
Because now you bring up body acne, right? Which I think probably young people would suffer from acne. I don't know when teenage boys get into their facial hair periods. Like, I don't know when beards grow and when hair starts getting rougher and tougher, but I can imagine all of that brings about some kind of changes also to the skin.
Absolutely. It actually opens a whole array of things that we can consider. Typically, males, the hair that grows from the skin are much coarse, and they can struggle with ingrown hairs and razor bumps, and if they pick a little bit, it can even convert into keloid scars. And young males, and I'm generalizing again, they start drinking a lot of this whey protein, and they do bodybuilding. So it's the combination of the whey protein, which is a high concentration again of lactic in the skin, lactic derived components, from a systemic point of view, then this actually can aggravate acne on the body. So the whey proteins, and maybe they use a little bit of other stuff as well, with the sweat and the maceration of, tight wearing gym clothes, etc., that usually causes a lot of acne on the body.
Very interesting. Let's go to WhatsApp for Dr. Judy. Our WhatsApp line is open if you want to ask questions. 0614104107. Don't worry, we'll boom it on the speakers for you. If you got a question, now is the time in our final moments.
Bridget, my daughter is 15 and I'm in my 40s, and I've seen her trying some of my products, and I had to stop her and tell her that these are for adults and they're quite pricey, because I would see her trying my serums, my cleansers and everything. So I've actually stopped her. I said she can just use a normal cream and sunblock, but if I don't watch her, she always wants to try my products.
Hi, SAFM and team. I have a daughter. She is 9 years old, turning 10 in October. And what I've noticed about her is that she has a problem with her armpits. She sweats and her armpits are a bit smelly, obviously because of the sweat. Now I've bought her a roll-on and um, a deodorant, anti-perspirating something deodorant. So I just want to find out if that's okay. If not, what can I assist her with? Because a smelly armpit in a child can be devastating, especially when she's at school and there's a lot of bullying. So please assist with that. Thank you.
Dr. Judy, how are you? Mario from Limpopo. Please help me. My daughter, a 12-year-old, struggles with bad eczema, but especially on her, especially when she sweats. So when she does any sports, it acts up crazy. Is there any natural remedy you can recommend we can use to help it, please? Thank you.
All right, I'm going to let Dr. Judy try and answer all of that. We've got 2 minutes literally.
Okay. With regards to the daughter that uses mommy's products, I think just be firm. You know, we shouldn't be submissive parents. You know, be firm with your children and guide them. Just explain to them it's not necessary yet, because some of those ingredients can cause more harm than good, for sure. More harm than good. So stick with that. We want a basic skincare routine, a mild cleanser. Maybe instead of a toner, we can have something like a hypochlorous acid spritz that they can spray to reduce redness and bring calm to the skin, followed by a sunscreen in the morning, and in the evening replace the sunscreen with a very lightweight formula moisturizer. That's it. Keep it simple. Then with regards to the young child that's struggling with the perspiration under the armpits, it's true. There are certain things that can cause us have more of a malodor with our sweat, and this is what we take in. There's a disease, I'm calling it a disease, I'm not saying this is the case, but there is something that's called fish odor syndrome, where people literally smell like fish because of the fact that they lack certain metabolic activity to break down certain ingredients that typically come in fish or broccoli or, certain food stuff. So have a look at the diet and maybe change the diet also a little bit, because if we don't break down things properly from an enzymatic point of view and we have a different type of odor when we sweat, then it can be systemic. But yes, I agree, there is some good deodorants and antiperspirants out there that she can apply. Worst case scenario, and I'm saying worst case scenario, there are things that you can do, such as injection of the botulinum toxin. And I know this is a child, but if it's under supervision of a doctor, if they inject you with certain botulinum toxin under your armpits, then you'll stop sweating for a while. That really does help. And then with regards to the eczema that the other little girl is struggling with, especially when she sweats, it just comes back to the fact that, it's not only water that comes out of your skin when you sweat, there's toxins in there as well. And those toxins usually changes your skin's pH. It has an effect. It can literally burn your skin, and this is what she's experiencing. So my advice is put her on a good vitamin D supplement without a doubt. And then secondly, after exercising, get her to shower as soon as possible and put on clean clothes. Also, maybe change the washing powders to something else, because sometimes it can be the detergents that's also guilty over here. And then get a nice, good occluding type of lotion or moisturizer that you can apply daily after bathing or showering. And look for an ingredient like zinc and niacinamide. And yes, one of my favorites to calm the skin down, salicylic acid.
Hope you got the advice from Dr. Judy. Dr. Judy, thank you so much for coming through, especially on your birthday. It's her birthday. And that's where we're going to leave it today. We're going to get into Kids Corner and then go to the top of the hour news.
This program is brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
Hello friends, and welcome to our Tuesday edition of Kids Corner. You're in a brand new grade now, and we want to hear how things are going for you so far. How are you finding the homework? Is it easy or a little difficult? Which subject's homework do you enjoy the most? And which one feels the hardest for you? When do you usually do your homework? Right after school, later in the evening, or on weekends? What helps you make sure your homework gets done on time? What do you do when you don't understand your homework? And finally, do you ask for help when you're stuck? Alright friends, let's hear from some of our friends while you share your answers with the people next to you.
Hi friends, my name is Oketwa Mungai and I live in Polokwane City. My work at school is not difficult so far, but the subjects have increased. And my easiest subject is technology and my hardest subject is natural science. I usually do my homework right after school. I will ask one of my parents for help with homework, mostly my father. Thank you.
Good day, my name is Monet Angel Nangavera. Yes, I'm in a new grade now and I'm finding the homeworks so easy, but some are difficult. So the subjects homework that I do enjoy the most are basically math, differentiation, and English. And the ones that I find difficult are basically math, sometimes physics. So I usually do my homework later in the evening, and if it's on a Friday, then I do it the very same day. And what helps with homework on time is doing your homework on time helps you gain more knowledge. Let's say, for example, you're going to write a test. You already know some of the things that are going to be in the test. So what I do when I don't understand my homework, I go and ask for help, usually from my teachers or my parents or my grandparents. Yeah, anyone who can help me with the homework. Thank you and have a lovely day.
My name is Emira Madin. I found my new grade. It was so interesting. Yes, I am coping with the grades work because some of the work is something I did in grade 2. The extra support that I need to make new grade easier is for my confidence and faith. Up to so far, I have not seen anything challenging about the grade. Yes, my teacher makes learning easier because if I don't understand, she explains until I understand.
Hi everyone, my name is Lorraine Moyo. The person who usually helps me with my homework is my mom because my dad is usually doing work or is at work. My brother's at school. He's been doing all his duties because he's a prefect, and my mom is just staying at home because she just stays at home. So she's the one who normally helps me with my homework. I feel like my mom doesn't have to do anything at all to help me at ease. I'm already at ease because I'm doing very well at school. So she absolutely doesn't need to do anything for me. So I say that she's perfect at helping me with my homework. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashley Kabamba. There is someone who I like to ask to help me with my homework sometimes. Most of the time I do my homework alone, but when I don't understand a certain question, I ask someone for help. I prefer my mom to help me with my homework because she understands the work I already done without even asking questions or using a calculator.
Hi everybody, my name is Karama Meleba. Mostly I do my homework on my own, but sometimes there's someone to help me. Why I choose to do my homework on my own is because I know that the teacher has already explained what we're gonna be doing for homework, and also I keep everything in my brain so that I remember what I'm supposed to do when I'm at home. How I like being helped with my homework at home is maybe the person I'm doing my homework with understands what I'm trying to say, because sometimes the person that you do your homework with does not get it the way you get it and does not understand the way the teacher explained it to you. Who I prefer to help me with my homework at home and why is my cousin, because she's also learning the same things that I learn at school, so it would be a lot of help for her to help me.
My name is Bana Ramani. There's no one who helps me with my homework. I do it on my own because I feel like I'm fine doing my homework alone and with no help because that can improve my grades. But if I'm struggling on a big question, I ask for help because if I don't and when I'm struggling, I will be stuck there for a long time. How I would like to be helped with my homework is that if I'm struggling, I must be helped by anyone who's around and maybe teaches me what that question is about if I forgot. I do prefer help at home because there's always anyone who can help me with any subject.
My mom and dad help me with homework. They help me with Afrikaans, English, maths, and reading. My mom and dad are the people who help me. With my homework, and I prefer my mom and dad to help me with everything.
Good day, friends. My name is Kawegazi, my surname is Mana, and I'm 11 years old. Today I'm going to talk about how I am finding my new grade that I am in this year. It's not easy or hard. The grade work is not hard at all, so it's easy to understand and also to do. I don't need any extra support, but what I need to do is focus. Something challenging about my grade is that we do a lot of work, but that is fine because most of the work we do in term 1 is revision from the last year. What I like about my grade is that I'm older now and I'm no more a baby of the foundation phase. Yes, my teachers do make learning easier because if you don't understand something, they explain until you understand, or they make it easier for you to understand. Thank you very much for listening and have a nice day.
Thank you, friends. It's always great to hear from you. Many learners are now settling in a brand new grade and getting used to new routines, teachers, and schoolwork. Homework is becoming a part of everyday life again, and for some children, it may feel easy and exciting, while for others it may feel a little challenging at first. Both feelings are completely normal when starting something new. Homework is designed to help learners practice what they learn in class and grow their understanding step by step. Some subjects may feel more enjoyable because they match a learner's interest or strength, while others may feel harder and require more time and effort. What matters most is trying your best and not giving up when work feels difficult. Creating a good homework routine can make a big difference. Doing homework at a regular time, whether after school or later in the evening, helps learners stay organized and avoid stress. Having a quiet space, taking short breaks, and finishing tasks a bit can help homework feel more manageable. When schoolwork is confusing, asking for help is a smart and brave thing to do. Teachers, parents, older siblings and friends can all help explain things in a different way. Struggling does not mean you are failing. It means you are learning. Every mistake is a chance to understand something better. Homework also teaches important life skills like responsibility, time management, and problem solving. Each completed task helps build confidence and prepares learners for bigger challenges ahead. With patience, support, and consistent effort, homework becomes easier over time. As you continue your journey in this new grade, remember that learning is a process. Take one day at a time, be proud of your effort, and never be afraid to ask for help when you need it. You are growing, learning, and becoming stronger every day. That's it for today, friends. See you next time.
This program was brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
On the top stories, KZN Hawks head makes claims about General Mkhwanazi, and 2 people have died in a fire on the Cape Flats. For SFM News, I'm Bondalambana, and a very good day. The Madlanga Commission has heard how KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi allegedly offered to hold investigations into Vusumuzi Ket Matlala's attempted murder case. The claims have been made by KwaZulu-Natal Hawks head General Lesija Sinona. General Sinona claims that Mkhwanazi made the offer in exchange for any information relating to suspended Deputy Police Commissioner General Shadrack Sibia. General Sinona alleges that the offer to Matlala was made at a meeting with Mkhwanazi late 2024 at the Pearls of Umhlanga in KwaZulu-Natal.
He also offered, there I heard that he also offered to hold. It's the first time I heard about the investigation against Matlala that offered allegations of attempted murder against Mr. Matlala for Tebogo Tobejani in exchange of information in relation to Lieutenant General Sibia in that meeting.
The former municipal manager of the Vryburg-based Naledi local municipality in the northwest, Modisinyane Sikhapo, has accused Premier Lazarus Mokgos of abuse of power. Sikhapo was testifying before the ad hoc committee sitting at Sun City near Rustenburg. The committee is probing Mayor Clifton Group's allegations. They relate to Mokgosi's alleged instruction of former municipal employee Thabo Apollos to tamper with the report of the interview panel with the aim of blocking Sikhapo's employment as municipal manager. The Western Cape Department of Health and Wellness says a fire that affected a small section of Paarl Provincial Hospital in the Boland earlier today has been contained. Paarl Hospital Communication Officer Lenzi Lotter says an assessment is currently underway to determine the extent of the damage.
The affected area and its immediate vicinity were evacuated as a precaution. Patients impacted by the evacuation were safely moved. No injuries have been reported.
2 people have died in a fire that engulfed their shack in Haynes Park in Philippi on the Cape Flats. The incident happened this morning. The City of Cape Town's Fire and Rescue Service spokesperson Jermaine Carlser says the bodies of the man and the woman were found under debris after the fire was extinguished. He says blaze ripped through the forced structure, leaving 16 people destitute. The Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa has made a call to the general public to refrain from going to the rivers to perform rituals. This after a 34-year-old traditional healer drowned at the Metule River at the Hartbeespoort in Mpumalanga yesterday after performing spiritual cleansing to his clients. President of Contralesa, Kgoshima Thuba Mokoena, says it is dangerous for the people to perform such activities in the swelling rivers as many people have been swept away.
Many of our people, especially those who are performing some rituals and those who are being baptized at some rivers, there are some drownings that are taking place. Want to make a call to people to avoid going to those rivers because some of those rivers are deep and you cannot control them. This drowning can only be avoided if we don't go near them. I want to advise people to say, can they wait a bit until the waters have gone down a bit so that they're able to perform their rituals?
Researchers in Britain say that menopause can cause a loss of grey matter in women's brains, affecting memory and emotions. The report found postmenopausal women were more likely to report insomnia, getting less sleep and feeling tired. The BBC's Michelle Roberts has the details.
The study involved nearly 125,000 UK women, of whom 11,000 had MRI brain scans. And the results suggest the menopause takes a toll on the brain, even with hormone replacement therapy treatment. The regions affected are similar to those impacted in Alzheimer's disease. The researchers from Cambridge University say the findings might help shed light on why dementia is twice as common in women than in men. But more studies are needed to better understand how menopause impacts the brain and what, if anything, could be done about it.
Recapping the top story, the Madlanga Commission has heard how KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi allegedly offered to hold investigations into Vusumuzi Ket Matlala's attempted murder case. I'm Mondilambana for SFM News, headlines at 2:30.
Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
Clientele is here to safeguard you and your family with compassion because life happens. Be part of a family that truly cares. Our funeral dignity plans have helped South Africans bury their loved ones with dignity for more than 30 years. Let us help you create a meaningful tribute that honors your life and those of your loved ones. We pay out within 24 hours and you will get double accident cover with a clientele funeral plan. Our plans are affordable. Pick the option that suits your needs. Easy to apply, no medical examinations and no paperwork. SMS SAFM to 48031. That's 48031. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
With the ever-changing financial landscape, it can be difficult to make sense of all the moves at times. Join me, Jimmy Moyaha, on the SAFM Market Update with MoneyWeb, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 to 7 p.m, as we break down the key market trends, top financial stories, and smart investment insights, all in one place. It's everything you need to stay financially informed and ahead of the curve.
For 90 years, one voice has informed, challenged, and connected a nation. SAFM, South Africa's national English public radio station. Established in 1936 as the SABC's very first service, the A program, evolving through the English service, Radio South Africa, to SAFM in 1995, shaping thought and strengthening democracy. From a full-spectrum station to a trusted home of news and talk, SAFM continues to lead the conversations 90 years strong. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us.
All right, let's just remind you about all things that are happening in Franschhoek. Once I can actually find my Franschhoek, it's somewhere around here. I promise you, it is somewhere around here. All right, January is a time for us to set intentions. Less noise, more meaning. So we say yes, right? Yes to beauty, yes to culture, yes to slowing down, and yes to the Montreal Jazz Festival happening in Franschhoek, where Montreal meets Africa with curated global and African music in an intimate setting. Don't miss it. You can get your tickets at the end of January and make this your yes moment. It's the Montreal Jazz Festival that's happening in Franschhoek, and all you have to do is say yes and visit www.mjfsa.com for details.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
Okay, that is all the time that we had for any kind of conversation from our end this afternoon. It's just gone 10 past 2 and they're back from their lunch break. So we're going to go back to Pretoria and continue with that live crossing from the Madlanga Commission with the KZN's Hawkshead Major General Sinona, who continues his testimony. We're anticipating that everything should go according to plan without any further interruptions, and thus the next voice that you should be hearing will be Ashraf Gada to bring you into 3 o'clock.
You are listening to the Madlanga Commission live on SAFM.
By describing what this is, S4, when you received it, who sent it to you.
Can I suggest Advocate Hassim that he reads paragraph 65 of his statement and then give that context that you had in mind?
So repeat his earlier, that's fine with me.
65, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioners. Consequent to the meeting above, on the 26th November 2025, I received a series of threatening WhatsApp messages from Lieutenant General Mkwanazi. The charts are attached here to as per Annexure S4. Can I continue, Commissioner?
Yes.
Hi, General. I trust you are well. You made arrangement that I meet this guy, Ket, because he is your friend, brother, and he needed my help to speak to General Kua to place orders of his contract.
On his contract.
On his contract. Thank you. He volunteered an information about a house think, but I'll read as it is. What is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding Nangi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met to discuss about Nangi care. Besides voice recordings, cellular phone triangulation, and my vehicle tracker, including access footage, will confirm the date and time of our meeting, and for his own sake, I hope that those timelines are in line with what he said before the committee in relation to his arrest. This is the man who says he met you 7 years ago, which is contradicting to what you told me that you grew up together. The fact that he's the one who introduced our meeting to the ad hoc committee and lied under oath. He invited me to make public the information that he gave me, which will put his life at risk. I'm still going to that committee. I hope he doesn't mind me exposing him to both Mr. So-and-so and Mr. So-and-so. I hope you won't blame me for risking his life because I have to tell the truth about our meeting. If he thinks he can fool the committee, it's okay, but I will not say much but to simply play a recording of our meeting verbatim because I have the record. This one of what is worse, I think, is a repetition. Must I read it, Commissioners, on page 92? The first paragraph.
The first paragraph, I think you may have put this in the wrong order.
Yeah.
These messages.
Yeah, there is that.
Can I confirm that this was one message that you received?
Yeah, look, the messages, they came like this, spontaneously, one after another. It's not a one straight off message. It's like you send a message, after some seconds or a minute, another one comes, after some few time, another one comes. It's not one message that was typed once off.
Do you have it on your phone?
Yeah, yes.
Would you prefer to read it off your phone exactly as it came to you?
On my phone as it came.
Yes.
It was there, it's deleted. There is this thing that was activated, delete messages over 24 hours from the phone of the general.
Okay, so you don't have it anymore.
So this is what we did screenshots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask then that you continue to read it, but don't read the duplicated paragraphs?
Okay, thank you. He volunteered an information.
Ms. Hassan, General, Ms. Hassan,
yes.
If you look at page 92, it is a repeat. It seems to be a repeat of what should have been on the first page. So the first paragraph in page 89 is the same as the first paragraph in page 92. Are you there, General?
Correct, Commissioner.
So page 89, and then look at 92. And then the second paragraph in 89, which reads, he volunteered an information about a house, and then it stops there, it cuts. If you go to 92, it looks like that is the complete paragraph.
Correct, Commissioner.
And then you've got the third paragraph, which we don't see. So the order, Ms. Hassim, if you could
can I propose
keep that in mind?
a way forward?
Yeah.
Leave 89. I think that's because there's a duplication. Can you read from yes. You made arrangements, I meet this guy. So page 92. Can you read that whole page? And after that, you'll see on page 91, if you flip the page back, okay, you'll see that it starts, so the last paragraph on 92 starts the fact that, and the first paragraph on 91 starts the fact that, so you can omit that and continue with I am still going to.
Okay. I don't understand what commissioners, where must I exactly read?
Okay, I think you need to begin on page 92. If you follow the order,
yes,
right? If you put these side by side, I think you filed it incorrectly in the wrong order, the pages. So if you start on page 92.
I must start on page 92.
Yes, because it's the beginning of the message. You see on page 89 it says, "Hi General, I trust you well. You made arrangements that I meet this guy Cat."
Page
89.
Oh.
You see how it reads? "Hi General, I trust you are well.
Yes.
You made arrangements." Okay. Now go to 92.
Okay. I'm there.
Okay. You see it begins with, "You made arrangements that I meet this guy
Yes.
Cat." Okay. So, but in 89 it cuts off at the bottom, whereas it doesn't cut off on page 92.
Yes.
Right. So if you read the whole of page 92 to begin with.
So if I read you well, is that in page 89 at the bottom, it start with "he volunteered." And then on page 92...
Sorry, Ms. Hassim, General, may I make a suggestion? May I suggest that we skip this? And then that an attempt, unless it's very crucial for where you start with your questions.
No,
if
no.
it is not, let's perhaps skip it and then try to see, Ms. Mafisa, if this cannot be arranged in a manner that flows.
Chairperson, we do actually have the screenshots in the correct order, so perhaps maybe my attorney can just give Major General Sonona, just show Major General Sonona the screenshots, and then he can read it in the order as it had appeared on WhatsApp. Is that okay with the commissioners?
That's in order.
Thank you.
In order. You have it now, General.
I have it, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. You made arrangement that I meet this guy, Cat, because he is your friend and brother, and he needed my help to speak to Lieutenant General Kua to place orders of his contract. He volunteered an information about a house address in Santin where Mr. So-and-so collect money using the state vehicle, and that he paid 2 million towards Mr. So-and-so's purchase of his plot. He also told me about Mr. So-and-so townhouse.
Sorry to interrupt you. But we hadn't agreed that this name would be redacted in this paragraph. The explanation provided to me for redacting it from the other paragraph is because of the connection to the second name.
Yeah.
So we haven't agreed that this name, and I don't see any reason why it should be redacted. It's crucial evidence for this commission.
Any comment, Ms. Mafisa, especially if the reason for redacting it earlier was to avoid making a... But then, once you mention it, then everybody knows that it's the same name that we skipped. So
Correct, Chairperson.
perhaps until we've...
Because I've already explained it.
Yeah.
We'll take a short adjournment. But perhaps before that, let me hear what Ms. Mafisa thinks.
Well, Chairperson, I don't know if I can say much because I don't want to give anything away regarding the specific individuals that we do not want to mention. But I think perhaps maybe what I can make clear to the commissioners is the risk to certain people's lives in disclosing these two names in particular. And I would like to also just state that there's a link between these two people. So if we were to mention one person, the other would automatically know that they are being referred to. Perhaps maybe I can illustrate it in this manner, Chairperson. If I were perhaps maybe to report someone and I would say that I'm going to report the person to Commissioner Khumalo and someone else, one would quickly deduce that they might also be reporting to you, Chairperson, or to the other commissioner. The link is, I don't want to give too much away, but the link is there, the relationship is there. And the knowledge that the other would have is, it's too big of a risk for us to take, to mention the names.
May I respond?
Thank you, Ms. Mafisa.
In fact, Chair, this makes it even more important that we consider this carefully, because what Ms. Mafisa has just said is vital evidence for this commission. She's confirmed the connection between those two names, something that is a subject of inquiry in this commission. So that's quite important for us. That's the first thing I want to say. And I would imagine there'd be more to come then, evidence-wise, from this witness to show that link. But apart from that, nothing from the face of this text, if you mention the first name, connects to the second name. I don't think it's the equivalent of referring to a commission of inquiry with a panel of three, and if you mention one, it's another. I don't think it's analogous to what is here. If you mention the first name and leave out the second, there's no way a link can be made to the second, unless you have knowledge that we don't have. But yeah, there's no objective manner in which one would put these two names together. The first name is linked to many people. It could be anybody.
Commissioners, if I may, I think what my senior has just said is quite relevant as well to the reason why we don't want to mention both of the names. Whether it's one name or both of them, we don't want to mention it is because of the knowledge that we do have. And perhaps maybe we are just taking additional or extra steps just to make sure that we do not have a situation where certain people's lives are at risk. But with the information that we do have, we can confirm that if we were to mention one of these names, the other would know. I can further elaborate, commissioners. Perhaps maybe I can just come closer to you and I'll be able to.
Perhaps Ms. Mafisa, just explain this about the other knowing. Just explain the relevance of that.
Yes. So when you have a look at that particular paragraph, what General Mkonazi is doing is he's saying that he's going to report. He's going to report to these two individuals. And I think when you look at it from that particular context, that's the most important thing, that I wouldn't say it's a reporting to your principal, but essentially the relationship with the link is somewhat of, it would be like reporting to your principal, essentially. So if you...
Maybe let me ask it this way. What's the fear? If that other person does get to know, what's likely to happen? What's that person going to do once they get to know of the mention of the other person? I don't get it exactly.
Sure. All right, Commissioner. So unfortunately, we do know that this person is quite, I must just watch my own words now, but this person is quite dangerous. And so just the mentioning of this particular person's name could put Major General Sonona in quite a tight spot, just in terms of his safety. I think perhaps also we're considering, it's Witness D, whose life was unfortunately taken. So we are just a little bit wary of mentioning this particular individual, exposing him in these proceedings. It truly is a security risk.
And if, for the purposes of General Sinona's testimony, all he is doing is to read a WhatsApp text not crafted by him, but a WhatsApp text received from General Mukwanaze, why should that threaten him? Why should that pose a risk to him?
It would definitely threaten him, Chairperson, because I'm sure the relevant people wouldn't have preferred for him to actually even disclose the screenshot. But because he wants to assist the Commission, he disclosed the screenshot. But just for purposes of his safety, we just thought that those two individuals together, they should not be mentioned. So it was to assist the Commission, but I don't think that we must put Major General Sonona's life at risk.
We'll adjourn and we'll indicate when we are ready to come back.
Thank you, Chair.
For 90 years, one voice has informed, challenged, and connected a nation. SAFM, South Africa's national English public radio station. Established in 1936 as the SABC's very first service, the A program, evolving through the English service, Radio South Africa, to SAFM in 1995, shaping thought and strengthening democracy. From a full-spectrum station to a trusted home of news and talk, SAFM continues to lead the conversations 90 years strong. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us.
Well, here we find ourselves at another Madlanga Commission crossroads with some sensitive information being called into question there. For this part of General Sinona's testimony, it seems as though the WhatsApp screenshot that he was about to share brought about cause for concern for his safety and security. And I guess it is a very legitimate concern if there are reasons there, given what we know about Witness D, who was murdered outside his very home after testifying at the Madlanga Commission. It does, to some degree, put people at grave risk as well as their families. So the Commission has adjourned for just a moment to go and deliberate this behind closed doors and I guess ascertain the risk factor of that information and see how they move forward from here. Would love to know your thoughts about these developments and anything else that has developed over the course of today or yesterday. 061 410 4107 is our WhatsApp line. That's 061 410 4107 is our WhatsApp line. Perhaps let's go to WhatsApp.
Good afternoon, Bridget and the listeners. You know, this guy says Cat is his friend, even more like a brother. But his brother went all over looking for help. He even went to former Minister Cele to help with what the PKTT did to his house, as he's saying. But not him, not his best friend, not his brother. He did not went and disclose what happened to his house on the 6th of December. He only hear about that on March. That is very, very funny. I don't understand, or I don't think that this guy want anyone to believe what he's saying.
A very good afternoon to you. You know what a waste of taxpayers' money. The Raymond Zondo Commission. Show me one person that's been brought to book, one person that's sent to jail. Yet so many of them are found guilty, and many of them are in parliament. So is this going to make any difference? This money that's being wasted, you could have used to feed the poor, build homes for the poor, do better things. Because end of the day, nobody's going to be held accountable here. Like the Zondo Commission, it will be the same story. Thank you. Bye.
Well, I mean, that's been part of our conversations with Usbahle from the very beginning of the commission, was that sense of a lot of South Africans hoping that this is not just a fruitless exercise, and perhaps all the allegations that are being tested or leveled at the Madlanga Commission will get to be tested in a court of law. And we've seen with everything that sort of transpired around Ekurhuleni, little did we know that there was so much rot in the Ekurhuleni SAPS departments. But we've seen some, rectifications there of issues and some suspensions that have come out of it as well. So perhaps this commission, unlike previous commissions, we might see something beyond just the testimonies that are shared with us publicly, but we might see something by way of charges and, as they would say, heads rolling and being held accountable. It is the KwaZulu-Natal Hawks head, Major General Lisacha Sinona, who is continuing his testimony today. And he's accused of assisting alleged criminal kingpin Ufus Musikat Matlala in securing a 360 million rand South African Police Services contract. He's emphatic in saying that his reach and his influence doesn't go into the national echelons of the SAPS, so he has no idea, no influence, no power, no anything there. This is what he's been at pains to re-emphasize throughout the course of the morning. We've got some messages from you saying that we've been eagerly waiting for the resumption of the Madlanga Commission, its commissioners, and particularly its chair, a legal mind of intellectual refinement. South Africa has legal big guns indeed. Let's go to more on your voice note. 061 410 4107 is our WhatsApp line.
SAFM has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that is not harmful, does not amount to hate speech, or contain violence or explicit sex. If you think we are not living up to that code, then you can inform the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Direct any complaints in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. PO Box 142365. Craig Hall 2024. Fax to 011-326-3198 or an email to bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more information, please visit www.bccsa.co.za. Bridget Masinga, weekdays on The Full Circle.
Let's go.
Sister B.
Your WhatsApps. Let's go back to your WhatsApps. We're playing Trigger Happy with my technician here. But let's go back to your WhatsApps. 061 410 4107.
Sister B. Great show always. Good voice. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all our special team in studio. It's Uncle JJ, the truck driver. Yay! Madlanga Commission. Who can come forward and say I was not friend of Kate Makala? He was so straight. He was sharing money. All of these guys, they are Katie's friends. Yo, Madlanga.
Good afternoon. It's Opress here from Bushbuck Ridgeville 14. What I do not understand, or more concerning, is that the importance of having this commission is for the name mentioning. I understand that this could put someone's life at risk, but why is that dangerous person is still roaming our streets?
All right. That's a good question. Why is that dangerous person still roaming the streets? But I guess at the onset of this commission, it was, even General Mkhwanazi did allude to this, that there are a lot of open investigations right now, particularly that pertain to the Big Five, which is why even he didn't name who the Big Five were publicly, because there's a lot of open investigations, there's a lot of sensitive materials, and obviously collaborating witnesses and all kinds of things that go into these things. And so perhaps naming names at times and giving status of where certain investigations are could jeopardize all of the hard work that has been put in by some of the good men and women who are still part of the South African police services and who work tirelessly to ensure that these individuals that become central to the Madlanga Commission, become central to the rot and the corruption and the criminality, really do see their day in court and do serve the time for the deeds that have been done. So I do kind of understand from that perspective, right, in as far as perhaps revealing some of this information and naming some of these people, that it could be a very tricky thing. We got a message here that says, Bridget, the issue regarding this WhatsApp screenshot is just another ploy to evade accountability, and the Sonoma guy is trying to play games, and there's no way that he can be killed unless he knows that the Big Five was involved in the heist of drugs, and there's no time to play. And this is from TG. Well, do we know what he really does know at this point and what he really doesn't know? As the Hawks head of KZN, he probably knows a lot. And we also can't be... We've had this conversation so many times with Smatley. We can't be careful, no matter what we feel about the characters who are part and parcel of this whole play that's playing out in front of us in real time. We also can't be careless about the safety of their lives, because if the task at hand is to finally see people be charged, is to finally see people be held accountable, is to finally see people behind bars, then we also have to err on the side of caution and responsibility with certain information, certain dossiers, certain names, and ensure that we keep witnesses alive. Because then we'll have a situation like Witness D, who, lost his life, murdered just after he testified off camera, but those who knew were able to put one and one together and figure out exactly who he was, and then they offed him, they killed him, they unalived him before the commission could come to a point of conclusion, before we could see criminal, proceedings begin against certain players. So we need to err on the side of responsibility and caution in ensuring, no matter how we feel about some of these characters, that we actually keep them alive so that we can see this thing come to an end that is satisfactory for all South Africans at the end of the day. Because if we have no witnesses at the end of the day, then what then happens? I'm no lawyer, but if we have no witnesses left at the end of this commission, we put ourselves in a tricky situation. Again, I'm no lawyer. 061 410 4107 is our WhatsApp line.
Good day, Bridget. This is Sim. I really don't know where this commission is heading to, or whether there's going to be an outcome out of it, whether there's going to be any people held criminal accountable. But it seems that this whole thing is going back and forth, because right now, today, this current witness, he's busy making allegations against Mkhwanazi, that he's met with Makala to speak about making the case against him disappear. Whereas people trusted that Makala was this squeaky clean person, but he seems to be like the rest of them.
Good day, SAFM and all the listeners. If I were the minister or I were the commissioner of police today, I would have arrested that general right there and right there, because he is guilty of every corrupt activity they did. Just the fact that he admitted he given Mr. Madlanga the information about about the PKTT. Tells me could have done more harm to the subs than he admitted.
Hello, good day. This guy must disclose the name of the killer. No way. You can't just keep quiet and don't say the names. You must tell the names of these guys.
I guess I'm content in the commissioners knowing the names of them having the full disclosure of all the different elements and all the redacted information that you and I don't get to be privy to. I'm trusting the process and entrusting in them having all that information, and erring on the side of caution where I'm concerned, because it serves me none to know the name of cartel member X before SAPS is ready and the national prosecution officers are ready to undertake the next step. Because then we know him, and then what? Then we give information that we know you and we know what you're about, and then they skip the country, they unalive people, you know what I mean? So for me, my producer, being the South African person that she is, she's like, ufuna ukwazi. But my question becomes, then we know the names before the respective arms are ready to make the arrests. Then what? Because if you say Bridget did X, oh, okay, so you're giving me heads up, Uti, I did X. Okay, cheers, bye. Taking my passport and I'm gone. Then it serves nothing. I don't know. Erring on the side of caution is my take. Anyway, so the Hawks Head said that he had met Madlanga around 2018, 2019, somewhere around there in Mamelodi, Pretoria, at a traditional wedding. And I quote verbatim, he says, Madlanga was introduced to me through a relative of my wife, who she was dating at the time. She said he was the owner of Cat VIP Security Services, and we exchanged numbers, and I happened to like him. In fact, he liked him so much that he refers to him as his brother, listen, the people who whisper in my ears, they're so dodgy. They're like a brother friend. I cannot for them. 0614104107. Let's go to WhatsApp.
Hi, SFMA.
Thank you, Commissioners. I am still going to that committee, and I hope he doesn't mind me exposing him to both Sibia and Mr. Sorenso. You are rather say Mr. Y.
You are on point.
Whatever you choose,
I like Sorenso.
It seems as though they're right back and going to jump straight back into it, because he is reading that WhatsApp that's in question and redacting the name of the said person.
Bridget Masinga, weekdays on The Full Circle.
I guess I was avoiding that because it would be the third time now, but it's fine. It's fine.
But it's an important paragraph which has now been missed.
No, so I'm happy, Mr. Singh. Thank you.
Thanks. You start from the beginning of the text. So as I understand it, what you have says, Hi, General, I trust you are well. That's how it starts. You made arrangements that start from there and go all the way to the end.
Thank you, Commissioners. Hi, General. I trust that you are well. You made arrangements that I meet this guy, Kat, because he is your friend and brother, and he needed my help to speak to General Kua to place orders on his contract. He volunteered an information about a house, address in Sandton, where Sibia collects money using the state vehicle, and that he paid 2 million towards Sibia's purchase of his plot. He also told me about Sibia's townhouse. The fact that he's the one who introduced our meeting at the ad hoc committee and lied under oath, he invited me to make public the information that he gave me, which will put his life at risk. I'm still going to that committee, and I hope he doesn't mind me exposing him to both Sibia and Mr. Sorenso. I hope you won't blame me for risking his life because I have to tell the truth about our meeting. If he thinks he can fool the committee, it's okay, but I will not say much, but to simply play a recording of our meeting verbatim because I have the record. What is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding Nengi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met to discuss about Nangi care. Besides voice recordings, cellular phones and triangulation and my vehicle tracker, including access footage, will confirm the date and time of our meeting, and for his own sake, I hope that those timelines are in line with what he said before the committee in relation to his arrest. This man says he met you 7 years ago, which is contradicting what you told me that you grew up together. I guess this will become clear as the investigation continues. That concludes the messages, Commissioners.
Thank you. Ms. Hassim, because we've been going on this way and that on this, I must apologize to you. I thought the bit about the payment of the 2 million and so on, I thought it was still to come. So
Okay.
apologies
No
for
problem.
my confusion in that regard. Yes, yes, Ms. Hassim.
So, thank you.
Ms. Hassim, will we get the correct?
Yes, I've requested
transcript
that.
of
And Mr. Beloy.
Okay, thank you.
No relation to Commissioner Beloy, is that we know of, has undertaken to provide that to the Commission. At the end of this message, Major General, there's a TikTok video. What is the content of that?
I didn't open that. You know, this message is commissioners. They came as some sort of intimidating to me. What I did, I just screenshot them and sent them to my attorney. Because for me, this was unbecoming. Why must I get these messages? For what? So I sent them to my attorneys that this is the messages I'm getting because I've already contracted them or request their legal assistance with regard to me appearing at the commission. Whatever comes my way that is talking to the issues of the commission, I must communicate with them. I must also say that my attorneys wrote a letter requesting the alleged recording in these messages. The letter, there was an acknowledgement of the letter, but the recordings never reached us. We have, till today. And these recordings that are said of that meeting, we have not yet received them till this day.
Thanks, but that meeting is the meeting that you were present at, so you know what happened in that meeting.
Come again?
The recording is a recording of a meeting at which you were present. Isn't that so?
As I have indicated in my statement, I was present.
Yes. Okay, so I also just need some clarity about whether, so you received this, did you respond to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi?
I didn't.
You did not reply?
I didn't. I just forwarded this to my attorneys.
And you had no further contact telephonically or otherwise with him?
With who?
With Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, yeah.
No, we never spoke after this.
You spoke at the same time there, just say, with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I'm just thinking of the transcription.
Oh. Yeah. Advise me, Commissioner.
I'm saying you spoke at the same time with Advocate Hassim, and you spoke over her when she was mentioning with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I just wanted to mention the name because the transcription will not show it if you spoke at the same time.
Yes, with the Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. Thank you, Commissioner.
Now, I would like to understand from you why you considered this to be intimidation of you. And I ask you because one interpretation of this is that General Mkhwanazi sent you this to say, and judging from the text, is that you made the arrangements for him to meet Kat Matlala. In that meeting, he volunteered information about General Sibiya and others. And now that he is the one that's introduced this meeting, but not given the full story, it means that General Mkhwanazi is going to go to the ad hoc committee and give the full story, and that he's letting you know this. And he's saying to you that when he does so, that may put your friend, Kat Matlala, at risk because it exposes him because he's given information, right, that he's informed on people, right? So I'm putting to you that that's an interpretation of this. Why do you see that as an intimidation of you?
Commissioners, I believe it's the first time the commissioners get to know about this meeting. Because of this commission, get to know about this meeting from me to you. And these messages came to me before I come here. And then when you get this type of messages, one get an insinuating situation that don't talk about this. As you are analyzing, the advocate is analyzing and giving a perspective of her analysis on these commissioners. For me, it came because I'm supposed to go and testify. And then Mr. Matlala spoke about this at the ad hoc committee. And then when you get this type of messages, what does it say to one? That be careful. Don't talk about this. I'm going to that committee. It was never talked about there, And you must remember, commissioners, I took an oath this morning to tell the truth. You said to me, tell the truth, nothing else but the truth. That is the feeling that I've got when I received this thing. And I'm here to come and tell the truth and assist the commission to deliver its objectives.
But you would agree that there's nothing in the text in where he says to you, do not go and testify about this meeting?
I agree that is not there, but the sense of this message is that I have received it with. It gives me an impression that be careful. So that's the feeling I had when I got this message. That is why immediately thereafter, I sent it to my attorneys. And I have never responded to him because you'll see other messages were deleted by him that he sent to me. And I don't know the content of that. It leaves a lot to be desired for. What was actually in that messages that were deleted by him, not by this, by the general, not by this app of disappearing messages after 24 hours. But the general himself deleted these messages that he sent to me. And I strongly believe that this message also was talking to the same issue because it is after Mr. Madala has testified at the ad hoc committee. It shaked me. I wish somebody was there to see how I was feeling. But I was rattling when I get these messages.
General, there's a part that I don't understand about what you've just said now. You said your reading of this message is that you must be careful. Careful about what?
That is what came into my mind, Commissioner, that, hey, you be careful. What came into my mind is careful about anything. We are members of the police, and I think as we move on, you will realize that also these things that are happening to me, these letters that I'm getting that I've indicated earlier, after my attorneys have sent this letter and we didn't receive anything, and the general didn't talk about this in this forum, commission, it ignites fear in one. And when you look at this, I was supposed to testify on the 26th. I was here. From here, I went out. My lawyers, we get these things, we send, they write him a letter and everything. All of a sudden, if I was supposed to be issued with a letter of transfer and everything, it should have happened last year. Now that we wrote a letter, these messages came, I sent them to my attorney, they sent a letter with these attachments to him to give us the recordings. Then I received this thing. You see what is happening now, commissioners.
Then you received what thing?
I received a notice of temporary transfer and a notice of alleged misconduct regarding the allegations that were made against me before this commission.
And so you're saying that General Mkhwanazi is behind that letter of transfer?
I've never said that, commissioners. I'm telling you the events that are unfolding after these things.
Okay.
And that, it gives me a serious problem.
We'll come back to that. Can I, sorry, finish?
It gives me a serious problem that, why? Because I did check with my supervisor that, are you saying everybody who was mentioned at the commission is subjected to what I am subjected to? And the answer was no. It depends from one supervisor to another. Thank you, commissioners. This thing is making me emotional because I sometimes take it's become personal, not the commission, but what is happening around me. And on a serious note, I don't like it.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide.
On the top stories, a reporting to the deaths of 3 police constables expected today. Mandela Bay works on restoring power. For SAFM News, I am Onda Lambana, and a very good afternoon. National Police Commissioner General Masemula is this afternoon expected to release the report into the deaths of 3 police constables whose bodies were retrieved from the Hinops River in Centurion in Gauteng in April last year. The late constables Gqebekhulu Linda, Boipelo Sinoge and Kiamukhetswe Base went missing while they were travelling from their homes in Bloemfontein in the Free State to their base in Limpopo. Masemula spoke to the media at Police Day celebrations at Dr. Rantlai Molemula Stadium in Bloemfontein.
We will be going to the provincial headquarters in the Free State and we'll be meeting the family and we will give them a report. As you are aware that if somebody died of unnatural causes, there is always open an inquest. In this case, the inquest is being open, the process is taking its course, but however, we will be able to give the family a final report from our side. Not that we say the court processes are finalized, they are not yet finalized, but we'll give the family a report from our side in terms of the findings that we've made.
KwaZulu-Natal Hawks head General Isija Sinona has told the Commission that the allegations made by Intelligence head General Dumisani Khumalo in Witness X are nothing but baseless. General Sinona adds that the accusations that have been made against him have further accused his reputational harm. The KZN Hawks head has been accused of leaking confidential information to alleged cartel members of the Big Five. General Sinona says these allegations have not only affected him, but his son as well.
Baseless allegations by witness ex-Lieutenant General Kumalo have caused a significant reputational harm on myself. They have further disrupted command cohesion and introduced unnecessary tensions within the DPCI KZN ranks. They have further caused an equal measure of harm to my son, as the allegations have caused him a significant loss of income.
The following story contains graphic details that might upset sensitive listeners, including children. A forensic expert in the murder trial of a pig farmer accused of killing 2 women and discarding their remains in a pigsty told the Polokwane High Court in Limpopo that upon arrival at the pig farm, they discovered 2 bodies lying inside a pigsty. Warrant Officer Alina Marotula says that there were several pig stalls adjacent to the one in which the decomposed bodies were found. Pig farmer Zakaria Oliver is accused of killing Maria Machato and Kudzain Ndlovu and disposing of their bodies in a pigsty. Marotula says that 1 pig was inside the pigsty with the decomposed remains.
What I observed was that the bodies were decomposed. I also noticed that those bodies were female bodies due to, I could see the breasts. One of the body was short of a hand and a leg.
And what were the pigs doing at the time? What was it?
He was just moving around the stall.
Do you know what happened to the short hand and the leg? Do you know what?
I believe they were eaten by the pigs.
The state has laid a charge of public violence against the March and March movement, as well as the MK party in Operation Dudula in connection with scuffles which broke out during a protest outside Durban Addington Primary School last Wednesday. Attorney Olani Zuma says the March and March leader Jacinta Ngobese Zuma is being charged as a representative of the movement. Last Wednesday, the police used stun grenades and a water cannon to break up the protesters. The protesters are demanding appropriate school placements for South African learners, alleging that the children of foreign nationals receive preferential treatment at the school. Zuma explains what will happen next.
So the process is that they are going to take her fingerprints and everything. They are going to issue basically what we call a warning statement. The case is going to then be referred to the NPA for a decision. So the management of the NPA will then decide whether there is a case or not. If there's a case, they will then prosecute. But if there's no case, they will then throw the docket away.
The Nelson Mandela Bay Metro in the Eastern Cape says it will